Hey everyone, History Mystery Man back with you again. Today coming from the tiny little river town, New Harmony, Indiana, located in the far southwest corner of Indiana on the banks of the beautiful Wabash River. This place is absolutely magical. A population about 800, that's all you get. So small in number, but big in character. This place was founded in 1814. The early settlers had an idea of utopia, attempted to create a utopian economy. It didn't work out so well economy-wise, but what's interesting are the legacies the early settlers left behind. Some of the first free public libraries in America, some of the first public schools. The early settlers denounced slavery. They were for a community of equality, equal rights for women. They were way ahead of their time. And I got news for you. This place, Utopia-wise, is alive and well. There's magic, there's character, there's personality, there's history here. There's so much in New Harmony, Indiana. This place has such a cool vibe. I absolutely love it. I could live here, and who knows, one day I very well may. Welcome to New Harmony, Indiana. Let's go check it out. So the town of New Harmony is fascinating for its charm and its utopian feel, but historically it's pretty big too. Give me a little snapshot on this place.
It was settled in 1814 by the Harmonists. They were led by Father Rapp from Germany. They crossed the ocean, they settled in Pennsylvania in 1804, but then came here in 1814, waiting for Christ to come. The Harmonists built this town, and they were here for 10 years. They went back to Pennsylvania and built a third town, and died out because they were a celibate community. So we had the Harmonists here from 1814 to 1824. They built 180 buildings in 10 years.
Now, are any of those buildings from that original, those first 10 years still alive here today?
Yes, we have Harmonist houses that are our sites that people can tour, and we have Harmonist houses that people live in.
Okay, and then Robert Owen stepped in, yes?
Yes, Robert Owen and his business partner William McClure bought the town. Robert Owen was going to have a new moral world, equal education, equal social status. Now, that didn't work, and he was here for just under 2 years. His Utopia didn't make it, so back across the pond he went. But many of the scientists and the educators and the artists and the engravers stayed, and they call the period after Robert Owen leaves the Afterglow, which lasted till about 1860.
I got news for you. This place is still glowing.
Yes, it is. We're still in the Afterglow.
I mean, antiques bought and sold, and open too. That always helps. Sweet. Super nice antique store. Wondering, is it hard to make it in a small town like New Harmony?
Well, we've been here 15 years, so we're doing pretty good. We live above our shop, so it's...
oh, that helps a lot, too.
Yeah, it helps a lot. Harmony's a great town. We moved from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah, we've been here 15 years. We did the annual Golden Rain Tree Antique Show out here on the street. It happens every June, second weekend of June. And it was a lot of fun. This building was for sale. Our booth was right out in front. And that's all it took. So we made an offer on the building, and we were here within 6 weeks.
What is it about this place that's, I mean, obviously I can walk through town and see how charming this place is and historic, but what brings people here? What keeps them coming back? What's kept you here?
The community. There's just a great group of people that live here, and they support each other.
Your population, I don't know, 800 to 1,000?
Yeah, same as when it started.
Yeah.
Same about
In
when it started.
1814, that's really interesting.
Yeah, isn't that something?
So-
And it's actually more charming when nothing's going on.
That's why I came today.
Yeah. A lot.
To be
You
here
picked the perfect time to come here.
Ooh, I like that gong. What's that gong I'm hearing?
That is our clock tower.
Okay.
It belongs to the Revere Gym, which is where part of the antique show happens every year.
What do you know about this building that you're in? I mean, how far back does it go?
This building was built in 1899, finished in 1900. It was the very first city hall. It had the volunteer fire department, and that's why this is called Firehouse Antiques. So if you talk to several of the other business owners, you're going to find that there is still a Utopian experience here. You're not going to get rich in a small town like this, but the quality of life is what we're after here.
Are you
pretty
glad
much.
you moved to New Harmony?
Oh, yes, I am.
So the economy of the Utopian experiment in its early days here in New Harmony didn't work, but there were legacies left behind. I understand the first free library, a civic drama club. They denounced slavery. They believed in equal rights for women. Their ideas were way ahead of the time. I mean, women are still fighting the fight. So.
Exactly. It's interesting that they were some of the first abolitionists before it became popular. They were forward-thinking in things that they made, and so it really was a different world. The academic, scientific community knew what was going on here during the Owen period.
And did I read that New Harmony was the home of the first public school in America, or is there anything to that?
I have always said that one of the first, because when you're on tour in New Harmony and you have a group of people and you say, we were the first, you get people on your tour that say, no, that's not right. Because in our town, we had the first this or that.
That's what's fascinating to me, because this little small town, that it gave rise and birth to so many important things, science and art and public schools and public libraries.
The Working Men's Institute is the longest operating public library in the state of Indiana.
The Working Men's Institute. Beautiful library.
But I think this place right here is probably the heart of New Harmony because it holds all of the history. Anything you need to know, you can come here and you can look in our archives and read about anything you need to know.
So do you like living in New Harmony?
I absolutely do. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
got a lot of charm. I can see it.
It does. And it has a. Most unusual thing is that people say that it is a thin place, so it's very spiritual here, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and I gotta believe you feel pretty doggone safe in New Harmony, Indiana.
And absolutely, I can leave my door unlocked and not feel threatened.
Is there anything to this feeling of utopia here? I mean, have you ever had a sense of that in New Harmony?
Absolutely. I absolutely love it here. It is very peaceful, and it's just, it's beautiful. I mean, what more could anybody ask for?
And
You're in the New Harmony Gallery of Contemporary Art. We've been
Okay.
here since 1975. And then in 1985, the University of Southern Indiana took over historic New Harmony, and we've been part of the university ever since. On this side, we have a space that has about 50 different Midwestern artists represented in a shop space. And then right through here, we have our exhibition space. And in there, we have 7 different exhibitions per year that has a range of emergent artists with professional artists. And
Do you live in New Harmony now?
I do. I live.
How do you like living here?
I love living here. I have an 8-year-old, and when we moved here, he was 2 years old, and we were looking for a small town like this that has the sort of cultural impact that New Harmony has. And so I have the ability to take him walking down the streets safely.
What is it about this place? I mean, I know it began as a utopian experiment, but I get that feeling when I'm here now, centuries later. Are you with me on that?
I'm here with you on that, absolutely. And I think what it is that this town is about possibility. And so you have people occasionally say things about it being a failed utopia, but a utopia is an impossible goal. And what's great about this town is that you still have people here today that are striving for making this place the ideal that they want it to be. And I think that's the sense that you get is
You're 86 years young, do I have that right?
Yes.
Okay, so you've been in the area all this time, born and raised here, and you're still here. Why have you stayed here all these years?
I went in the Navy, and my wife and I, we got married here in '53
Wow.
down at the Episcopal Church, and we've been married 65 years now.
Wow. So what is it about New Harmony that's kept you here all these decades?
I've been, around the world, and this is about as good a place there is to live. We enjoy it here.
Do you feel safe in New Harmony, Indiana?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
do. It's a good place to live, and we just enjoy it, and always have. Her birthday's coming up, 28th of this month, January. She'll be 86. So
You guys aren't from New Harmony, so why did you move to New Harmony?
Well, we've been coming here for 40 years and
Really?
and liked it and thought we knew all about it, and we really didn't. It's way better than we thought.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it about this place? Is that anything to that utopian feel? Is there anything to that?
Well,
It's very slow paced.
sure. It's you can walk down the middle of the street in the middle of the night. Of course, that's not the only place you can do that. But I don't know. It's just a group of really great people here that are fun to sit around and talk to, as you might have noticed.
So-
yeah, we're thrilled to death.
That.
And you get used to the slow pace, and when you go to a bigger city, it makes it a little rough.
Are you used to the slow pace now?
Yes,
Yeah, you like it.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I love this place. It's got lots of character.
It does.
And I just got
and
here.
The folks that come here are unbelievable. We're having Kathy Mattea Saturday. She's been around for a long time, Nashville country singer.
And she's the building I'm in now. I mean, what is its history? What was it so many years ago?
This is the Schnee, Reber, Elliott House. Those are the 3 main players. Helen Elliott gifted it to Historic New Harmony, and that's why their offices are here.
This is a beautiful home.
It
I
is.
mean,
Now
it's
this-
gorgeous.
1867.
Okay, that's 2
1867.
years after the Civil War ended, so
Yeah.
that makes it even more interesting. Ooh, I like that. Is somebody here?
Somebody left.
Somebody left.
Either coming
Well,
or going, that
We
rings.
wish. Right on the corner of Main Street and Church Street is Sarah's. Great food, bistro, cafe, baked goods, wine. They got it all here. And the building is absolutely gorgeous. Wait till you see this place. Look at that. Huh? Original wood floors, original tin ceiling. Beautiful. And if you wander over this way, you might find your favorite bottle of wine. Sarah, she's here too. Hey, how long you been in business here?
I accepted ownership of the coffee shop 1st of September 2012. I've been in business in New Harmony for myself since the 1st of June 2010.
Wow, sure, but it's a beautiful place. What do you know about the building? How far back does it go?
Well, it's actually 2 buildings together with a firewall in between. The coffee shop was built in 1900. This particular building was built in 1910.
Oh, it's beautifully restored too. I love it. And did you buy the building?
I did.
Wow.
I did. But I've worked in New Harmony off and on since I was 22. Fell in love at 22. I'm now 62. I've never fallen out of love with the town.
What is it about this place? I mean, it's got a vibe all its own. I'm finding that out. But everyone I've talked to absolutely loves this place. The charm, the character, the historic feel. It's got everything. I got in. I want to stay.
Well, I really can say that New Harmony is a living, breathing museum. The history of New Harmony is amazing, and I think because both of the Utopian groups that were here were so diverse, and I think that's what you sense when you walk through the streets.
Is there really something to the Utopian feel that you probably get here?
I've always thought that. It's just something, can't really name it. It's just, a lot of people will say it's a thin place where it's very, very, the distance between those that have passed to those that survive today is very thin. I think you feel that.
Could you imagine being anywhere else? Or is New Harmony it for you?
It's always been it for me. But you
have... The Capers Emporium. We're going in. You do ghost tours of New Harmony, is that right? Do I have it right?
I do. People around town call me the ghost lady, but I own Haunted New Harmony, which does ghost walks and investigations in town. And we share a lot of the history and a lot of the folklore and a lot of the legends and the ghost stories as well. It's been a lot of fun.
So is there something to this idea of utopia? Who doesn't want to live there? But do you get a strong sense of that here in New Harmony?
Oh, definitely. You see a lot of people come into town and everybody has their own version of what utopia looks for them. For some people, it's all about the arts. Other people think it's all about the antiques. And for me, it's all about everything, but it has something to do with the ghosts as well.
So where am I now? Is this...
You were in Capers Emporium, which is a cooking experience. We have kitchen gadgets and gifts and every item you could ever want.
And do you like living in New Harmony?
Oh, I can't imagine living anywhere else. It's the perfect town. I mean, you've got all the history, have all the interesting shops and restaurants and the sense of utopia. It's like stepping back into time.
I mean, I get a sense of that from everyone I talk to. Before I left, I did want to, you said you wrote a book about, tell me again the title?
Well, I'm an author. I've written 18 books, but
really?
My latest book is Haunted New Harmony.
Do you have a special interest in hauntings?
I do. Actually, I'm a paranormal investigator.
Oh, well, that's interesting. How long did that take to write?
It took me probably about 6 months. A lot of it really involved doing the research. I didn't want to just regurgitate the old ghost stories that have been floating around town.
You came up with your own stuff.
I did come up with my own stuff, but I also spent a lot of time documenting and researching the locations, learning the history so that I knew maybe why it was haunted and who was haunting it. So my book is full of a lot of history as well as the stories.
What is it about the utopian feel here? I can sense it. I can't put my finger on it, but is it alive?
Yes, you can't see it, you can't touch it, but you can feel it.
I like that explanation.
And you know we're called a thin place. Do you know what that is?
I've heard that from some of the other store owners here,
okay.
like the thin line between life and death.
Heaven and earth.
Ooh, that's even better.
It's a thin place.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Small town art galleries are the best. This one is spectacular. I love this space. So you were in Louisville for what, I don't know, 10 years or so, and why did you move into New Harmony, Indiana and start your art gallery?
Because first and foremost, because of New Harmony itself. It's the epicenter of culture for this area in many ways. The other is just from a business perspective. I mean, it's a reasonable cost of living here. But I'm surrounded by artists. I'm surrounded by an incredible art scene. One of my top artists, Marianne Mishna, is actually, her studio is right around the corner. So, it made sense to be right here.
You mentioned to me earlier that part of the attraction to New Harmony is you wanted your kids to grow up in this community. Can you put a little more light on that?
It's absolutely a community, and that's the word for it. People come together for life celebrations, whether it's birthdays or whatever. You can count on your neighbors being there, incredible friends, incredible people that you want to be around as you navigate life and as your kids grow up. New Harmony it's a great place to be year-round, actually.
I mean, this place does give off a certain vibe, and I can't quite define it. I know it was founded as a utopian experiment, but
a couple of times,
I feel
actually.
that. Yeah, a couple of times. I feel that here. I get a sense of it. Are you with me on that?
Oh, 100%. I honestly see that we've been coming here, or actually here, for the last 4 or 5 years, and I've seen it change even since then. And I see newer people coming in. New Harmony is about ideas. So when you go to dinner parties, people talk about ideas. They talk about things changing and what we can do. And no matter where you are in the political spectrum or the financial spectrum, people want to hear your ideas, and it's always been that way. So I would actually argue that in many ways, there's a new wave of wonderfulness coming to this small town.
Yeah, Utopia, reborn in New Harmony, Indiana.
Without
Do you
question.
love it here?
Absolutely. I get to walk to work here, and I get to talk art, and I get to interface with incredible people in the arts and in culture. Not just here, but around the world. Many of my clients are not from New Harmony. They come from all around: St. Louis, Nashville, Louisville, Indianapolis. So no, it's an incredible place to have a business and a home.
Where are you from?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. How do you like New Harmony? How does
love
New
it.
Harmony stack up with everything else?
I love it. For me, it's for one thing, it's a safe place.
I like that.
It's also very progressive. And
Just like the early settlers,
Yeah,
where
and
Robert Owen was a social reformer, a progressive.
Right, we tell
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time. I sure appreciate it, and I absolutely love New Harmony.
Well, good. They have 4 phases here.
4 phases, meaning...
This is really a neat place. I think I might like to live here. I start looking at houses. I now own a house in New Harmony.
I feel that coming
You feel
on
that?
for me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I could live in New Harmony.
Sure.
I figured that out in day one.
Well, Saturday night.
Know any realtors?
Oh, yeah.
In a lot of small towns, once you get off Main Street, that's about all you get. But you get off Main Street here in New Harmony, and there's a lot more. This place is absolutely incredible. Restaurants back here off the main drag, little guest houses. I mean, this idea and the feeling of Utopia, I can assure you, is alive here. I can't help really describe it or pinpoint it. I just know that it is. You gotta see this place. I just got here. I don't want to leave.